Hello students, this is Teacher Ken. Welcome to another intermediate class. Today, I would like to show you what, technically speaking, we call adverbials of purpose. Putting it in simpler words, when we are using to and for, when we are answering questions, why is one of the situations in which it is easier to get used to expressing something with to or for. This is the reason why. Let's say I ask that question that is on our book. By the way, we are on page 138 of the PDF. That would be page 125 in the English sentence structure book. Okay, now back to this question. It says, why did John go to the store? When we're going on the basic level classes, we are used to answering a question why with because. And we are used to, adding a full sentence after that. For example, why did John go to the store? In basic level, you would say, John went to the store because he needed to buy some books. Okay, so we would use that because to put it together with a full sentence. Okay, we can also use to and for in situations similar to the ones that we have on the page in the book. So let's go ahead and read them. I'm going to go ahead and read, give you a moment to repeat, and I will explain what the difference between these two is, okay? Let's read it once first. I'll explain, and then we'll read it one more time to make sure it makes more sense, okay? So, why did John go to the store? John went to the store to buy some books. John went to the store for some books. So again, we're going to be using to and for when we are expressing situations or answers to the question why. And we're going to use to with actions, okay, or verbs. So to buy, to eat, to have, okay? And then we will use for with nouns, or let's say things. For some books, as it says there, for my friends, for the apartment, for you, okay? Like again, we are not using an action. If I use an action, I will use to. If I use a noun, I will use for. It's not very complicated in its basic explanation, but it gets a little tricky when we are applying it, okay? So for that, we're going to go to exercise 5. This is on the same page 138, on the PDF, and 125 on the English sentence structure book. This is a substitution exercise. It's not very complicated. We just have to be aware and to remember that if we are going to talk about an action, we have to use to. And if we want to talk about a noun or about something that can be described, you will use for. We have the examples here, and I am going to go ahead and say the word, give you a moment to say the complete idea, and then I will repeat the complete idea. In this case, we are going to maintain, let's say, he came. We're going to continue using that he came, and we're going to be switching either to and for with the rest. So The first one says, he came to get the books. For, what would you say? Okay. He came for the books. Repeat. Okay, now what if I use the concert? He came for the concert. Repeat. Okay. Now we have hear the concert. Hear is an action. So what would you say? Yes, he came to hear the concert. Repeat. All right, how about study English? He came to study English. Repeat. Okay, number one, cash the check. What would you say? Yes, he came to cash the check. Repeat. All right. How about meet me? He came to meet me. Repeat. Get some coffee. He came to get some coffee. 4. He came for some coffee. His coat. He came for his coat. All of his books. He came for all of his books. Get all of his books. He came to get all of his books. Tell me the news. He came to tell me the news. Buy some matches. He came to buy some matches. Buy matches. He came to buy matches. Matches. He came for matches. Lunch. He came for lunch. Eat lunch. He came to eat lunch. Find a chair. He came to find a chair. 4. He came for a chair. Watch a television program. He came to watch a television program. Pick up his radio. He came to pick up his radio. For. He came for his radio. An exam. He came for an exam. Take a test. He came to take a test. Okay, so again, this is not something that is very complicated to understand. It's just very important that you practice it enough so that it, let's say, stays in your brain and you can use it correctly without thinking it too much, okay? The more you practice, the better, as usual. If you would like to practice on the other section of the book, on the English sentence practices, let's take a look. You would go to lesson 12 and you will look for letter B for adverbials of purpose. Just a moment. Let me go ahead and find it with you. Here, that would be exercise 4 in lesson 12 of your English sentence practices book. Okay, I'm leaving the pages in the notes. And in the physical book, if you have the physical English sentence practices book, it's page 174. You can start there and you can see the example that is right here. It's making a question with why, and you are answering with in order to, and for. Don't forget to leave any questions in the comments or send me a message. Thank you very much for staying for today's class. And remember that English is easy. You just need to practice, okay? See you next time.